to
Yeah.
hear more about how the idea came to you
Hmm.
and what it's all about.
Yeah. And yes, so you know that I told you that that wasn't this isn't the first genre that I have attempted to write. I've written uh, a women's fiction, romance. That was always the John, it was always like literary, that kind of genre. That's where I was kind of going to for many years. And like you, I thought, I could read crime or psychological thrillers, but not really write it because
Yeah.
it's, like the thought of that is just like, wow, that's such a huge thing. That's just not my thing. But um, somehow the idea came to me and I said, okay, I'll attempt, I'll see if I could do this. And so uh, the way the story goes, and I've told you this, I think a couple times. I was in Rome visiting my daughter when she was in the university, and she was in school, and I, took a walk. I went to the grocery store, and I was being followed by a man, and it made me angry. The thought of this man following me, because I thought about my daughter, and I thought, if this man is following me and I'm, you know, a woman of a certain age, I'm older, like, like what is happening, to my daughter? What is she experiencing on her walk to school every day? But I think that, when I think about it, that anger came from that. It came from what was happening, in the world, feeling like women's rights were being taken away, things that had happened in my past, stories that I had read on the internet, and my fears about what could possibly happen to my own child. And it made me steaming mad angry. I wasn't scared, I was angry. And I wanted to hurt this man for following me. I
Yeah.
wanted to turn around and scream at him, what makes you think you have the right to, follow me and scare me? And so uh, instead of doing that, I was on the phone with my brother. I just started, I said to my brother really loud, I wanted this guy to hear me. I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go home and I'm going to write a story about a woman that's a serial killer that kills men, that hurts women, And this is kind of giving away some of the things. But that is where, that story came from. And I'm like, and he's going, I started, kind of being very descriptive about the things that she's going to do, to this
I can only
man.
imagine.
Like, and I'm like saying it really loud, sounding like a crazy person. And this man, I think he, was like, she's nuts. And he crossed the street. After a while, he stopped following me because, and I just kind of, I said, you know what? My brother was like, you know what? While I'm telling him this story, he's like, that sounds really good. You should really write that. So I'm like, I said, are you serious? And he said, yeah, no, I'm serious. I want you to really write that story. So I went home and I started writing the story. And it just started coming out of me. And then I thought to myself, I am not a crime thriller writer. What am I doing? Like, I don't know how to do this. So at that point, I just said, I need to find a writer's retreat, and I need somebody to teach me how to do this. So I took a writer's retreat. I found a writer's retreat in Greece, and I went. It was a 10-day writer's retreat, and the guy that ran the retreat, was husband and wife. They the husband was a crime thriller author, and so I thought, what better way, to learn, get some hands-on training on how to do this. And it's not that he taught me how to write a crime thriller, but what it was is I was, at this retreat with, like, I don't know, 10 or more other ladies around my age, all first time, authors. They'd never, they were just starting their career, and so it was, and we all had this mission to, and later in life do this thing. So there was this camaraderie, and then there was this confidence
Mhm.
that I could do this. And so that was really what it gave me. It gave me a boost of confidence, that, if I had a story, I could do this. And so, and that's where it all began.